Hi everyone, my name is Noah Garcia. I'm here speaking on behalf of Junte. We're part of the New Inc. Year 11. However, this is our second year as part of New Inc. And our team also includes Oscar and Baris, and then we also have Nando here.
Hi, my name is Hernando Dorvillier. I'm a music teacher, also musician and artist here in Puerto Rico. And it's very nice to be part of this project as a Junte member.
And so we'll be walking through an excerpt from our application, which includes 5 or 6 slides from our deck that talks through how we approached applying to New Inc. And so with that, I'll jump into it. Yeah, so to begin with, Junte has been around for a number of years. We started in 2017 with a group of 8 people. This is a little snapshot of us in Adjuntas in Puerto Rico, where the project germinated from. And so we have a long history of doing some community projects, and ultimately we're in the social architecture track. So we're focused on building community and building structures, and they go hand in hand. And so it's been a great opportunity to work with New Inc. to figure out how to build a team and how to collect resources and to execute our ideas.
Something that drew us to the New Inc. At the beginning was to put together so many ideas that we have, and to see if we as a group can have some structures that help us to create whatever we were trying to project to the future. And I think that happens in the first years. Also, in my case, as I'm an artist, a musician from Puerto Rico, and representing all of my colleagues from the rural area of Puerto Rico is a way that we can have exposure to other places and learn from others, and also teach what we have here, and receiving also that information and back.
With this Junte project, it was one of our extracurricular activities, and we want to be able to commit more time to it and focus on it in a more structured environment. So we've been working on it for a number of years, and so there have been ebbs and flows of engagement, and so this was a great way for us to structure ourselves, to gain momentum and having regular meetings, and then to also meet people that were doing similar things, and to learn from them, from like-minded and also diverse perspectives. This is one of the opening ceremonies we had. Nando, if you want to give a little walkthrough of.
Yes, part of Junte missions is like to have this place of gathering where different artists from Puerto Rico and the whole world can get together and share some information, inspiration, and just to bond each other. So at the beginning, we were deciding what do we want to start building in the place. I thought that it would be a shelter or a house, but in an artist perspective, we understood that we need to have a dancing platform, and that's what we are seeing right now. This our first culture in this land that we bought in Adjuntas in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so one really great thing for us is that originally we weren't thinking of what we were doing as social architecture. We were thinking of it as community engagement, social events, surrounded around the built environment. So when we saw that the New Inc. had a relatively new track called social architecture, we realized, hey, that's kind of what we're doing, and that really fits the category of our work, where it's balanced around community and people, but then it's also grounded in some physical structure. In this case, it was a dance platform, and now we're currently working to build a more permanent shelter with accommodations for sleeping and protection from the environment. And so for us, social architecture took on a special meaning. It turned out that in our first year, we were much more focused on the social part of social architecture, where it was community engagement, meeting with local artists and creators in the community, doing workshops, and trying to gauge what their interests were with this project. And then in this year, in our second year, we decided to return because we felt like, hey, we've done a lot of data collection, but we need to actually follow through, and we built some small structures and generate some artifacts and artwork, but our real goal is to build something that's much more long-standing and habitable, that can include more people. So our work wasn't done yet, and so year two's been a great opportunity for us to really focus on following through with what we started in year one.
Some of the challenges that we want to solve here in New Inc. is like, for example, as a group, shall we form as a non-profit? It would be good for us. What are the ways that best fit for us as a group? And also, how can we create our structure, our mission? And that's something that we've been guided in this process, and it has been very helpful for us, and also to take inspiration on how does New Inc. work, this incubator program. How can we in the future perhaps be also like an incubator or help other artists or groups to empower themselves in projects that are similar to us?
Continue to the next slide. Yeah, so in our application, we each had a little headshot or a snapshot of us in our natural environment. Hernando's a musician here, and a choreographer and a teacher, a jack of all trades. So this is we each had a little snapshot to talking about ourselves personally, because ultimately we're individuals, but then we come together with our different expertise. My background is in architecture, Hernando's background is in music, so we're able to bring together different expertise and elements into the project. I don't know if you want to add anything else to this, Nanda.
Yes, and part of our mission is how can, in some point in my way, how can we grow from where we are living at the moment? I was raised and I live in the rural area of Puerto Rico. So how can we develop ourselves, and have other communication with artists from the world, staying here in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, so New Inc. has been a platform for us to amplify what's happening in a project in Puerto Rico and some of the creatives there, and to bring them to a global audience. For year one, part of our work was really focused on community engagement and research. So we focused on having different workshops, and in this case, we did some rubbings and we had exercises on the site, on the lands, to work with the community, familiarize ourselves with the site. It's ultimately 5 acres with a lot of jungle and some dense terrain. So it was a chance for us to create some pathways and views and vistas, and to document different trees and landscapes and textures.
And also, how can we build in a place where we are not invading, and exploiting or breaking the forest? So educating the community that when you're in a place, you want to respect the process, the natural process, and also learning from the ancestral practice of building here.
So this is more from a similar workshop where we had some different rubbings and textures from the site, and people started to draw and imagine what could be built there, and just draw inspiration from the land to get people engaged and interested in future initiatives. Okay. Yeah, so in our application, we captured our growth both by documenting how we started, the fact that we formed a number of years ago, and that it's been something that we've been nourishing and building as time has gone on. And so ultimately our persistence and our commitment to the project and the development of, we're working with budgets now, we're working with roles and responsibilities. We have a grants manager somehow, and so over time, like, we've started check boxes. We're working on becoming a nonprofit, and so I think that we've shown that this is something that we're committed to, no matter what. I think it's part of our interest and motivation. But with the support of New Inc., with having that little extra boost, it would make us much more successful and accelerate the process. So I think part of our growth mindset was showing that we're taking things one step at a time, that we're developing workshops, that we're having exhibitions. We had an exhibition with at Socrates Sculpture Park a few years ago, and we done another exhibition in Puerto Rico, and so we're constantly thinking of events and ways to come together, and so we've grown to become stronger collaborators too. We've learned more about each other and built some stronger personal relationships, and so I think that capturing that camaraderie and momentum we were able to thread that into our deck through the bios and just through our engagement. And so because this was our second year, our presentation focused on what we were working on, what we did in the past, and then it's also a look ahead. So looking ahead, our goal has really been to build a shelter, a structure that can be inhabitable and protection from the environment. And so that's been the focus of this year. And we've had some great conversations with our mentor and with other members about entrepreneurial and creative revenue streams for financing a structure that could cost 6 figures, let's say. And so we through that process we've thought of some creative ways of working with local coffee manufacturers to distribute custom limited edition or engaging artworks connected to coffee distribution. And so we've kind of started to think about alternative revenue streams and just creative ways of getting the structure built that is self-sustainable and doesn't necessarily pull from limited funds that would eventually run out, but rather it can come from some other long sustainable initiative. And so I think that was the last slide. Again, this was, I think, 5 or 6 slides in a deck of maybe and we had 22 slides total. So this is the abbreviated version. We really appreciated that the application for New Ink was focused on a deck rather than just a traditional written application, because it gave us a chance to focus on visual storytelling. Ultimately, we're artists, and so we're much more focused on visual cues and visual storytelling. And so we were able to thread imagery and to also create a narrative that really captured where we've been, what we're working on, and where we're going. And then so in terms of the sequence and supporting imagery for that, and then also when it came time to do the interview with the committee, what was nice is that we had that deck to walk them through what we've worked on, and so it was a nice visual tool to really bring some character and personality to what we're working on.
Yes, definitely. I think that submitting a deck gave us also the strength of seeing us as a project, and also seeing our trajectory, our path, and gave us the idea or the perspective that if that what's been done in the past, now I think that we are in a nice path for the future.
And so with that, those were the excerpts from our slides. We can dive into any of these a little bit more deeply, but yeah, again, it was kind of an overarching documentation of our deck presentation for New Ink Year 11.